Hello guys, for a change today I will be making a video on essay and not maths. So in my attempts I have constantly got good marks like 130 plus marks in essays. So I wanted to discuss one essay with you that came this year. The question was the philosophy of wantlessness is utopia while materialism is a chimera. So if you see, this is mostly a philosophical topic. So the problem with these topics is you don't have a set content, you don't have set data for it that you can mug up and reproduce in the exam. You have to think at that place organically, that to in 10-15 minutes you have to frame your essay and then you have to write about it. Although this looks a little tough, but this is a very easy, for the reason every UPSC aspirant has read something about this. Okay, because you in your ancient history and your ethics, you have dealt with these philosophies. Okay, you have dealt with these philosophies, plus you know that the materialism, okay, impact of consumerism, materialism on your economy, your society, your environment, all this you know, and you can connect these two things to write this essay. Okay, so let's see how to, like, one should approach this essay. So the problem is that most of the people they try to write a philosophical essay. Okay, philosophical essay. The problem with philosophical essay is, if you are not a very good writer and if you're not a very well-read person, you won't be able to write this much content, 1,000 words, 1,200 words, in a very like good manner, and you won't have lot of arguments, philosophical argument to support or your thinking and support of your way of writing. Some people who are very well read, who are very good, who have very strong writing, they can write a completely philosophical essay, but most of us don't know how to write a philosophical essay. Okay, so always try to connect philosophy with pestle. That's the easiest way to go about it. What is pestle? Your politics, economy, society, technology, environment, law. You know, try to connect a philosophy with pestle. Okay, right? In this essay, you have two main things. The first thing is your philosophy of wantlessness. Philosophy of wantlessness. And the other thing is your materialism. Materialism. Both lie on the opposite ends of the spectrum. So the first thing is, every person will write according to his knowledge and his understanding and what he can recollect at that moment of time. So I'm just giving you a brief framework. Content may differ, but approach, just learn the approach, how to approach it. So I will pick one topic. Okay, what the philosophy of wantlessness. Okay, whenever you have a philosophical essay, your approach should be, first write a thesis, okay, then think of the antithesis, and then in the way forward you will go ahead with the synthesis. Okay, what do I mean by this? That first agree with the topic. Okay, that yes, philosophy of wantlessness is utopian and materialism is indeed a chimera. Write about how wantlessness is good, how give arguments in support of wantlessness, how it is a utopian concept, how it can help you grow, how it can help the society to become a better society, how it can help the planet, how it can help human beings, how it can help in making the institution a better, a better place. Similarly, then in the second part, give an antithesis, that is your counter argument. Okay, then your counter argument will be which goes opposite to the title. That is wantlessness indeed a utopia? Like, is it at all required, or is it a very far-fetched concept? It is a very extreme concept, and the truth or the good way of life lies somewhere in between. So you will discuss that here, and in the synthesis, you balance your arguments. That is, you agree with it plus disagree with it, and you give a way forward. Okay, way forward. So let's see how, like, one, how can be one way of writing it. Okay, so first was like philosophy of wantlessness. Okay, philosophy of wantlessness support, and and then the materialism is chimera thing, right? And the materialism is bad, wantlessness is good. So first, when I read this, the first thing that came to my head was Buddhism from my ancient history, Jainism. Why Buddhism? Because Buddhism philosophy, Buddhist philosophy, Buddha taught us that desire, that is want, is the root cause of suffering. Root cause of suffering, right? And it is the biggest impediment to on the way of nirvana. That is, we run after the materialistic things so much that we tend to forget what is really important to lead a good life. Similarly, in Jainism also, they teach you extreme penance, right? Extreme penance. So you must be knowing that if the Amber Jains even they don't even wear clothes because they don't want to associate themselves with any kind of materialistic things, right? So these philosophy are teaching you wantlessness. That came to my head. Okay, what other thing can you give in support? Okay, what other things can you give in support? You can quote the Hindu philosophy, like you can quote Gita, which says that this whole world is Maya, that is an illusion, right? Right? And you can, from this, you can get a clue that how Mahabharata, the bloody war, happened because of the greed and the want of controlling the Samrajya by Duryodhana, the Kauravas. So you can give any philosophical or historical points from this, right? So this is your one way of going. Okay, this is your one part in support of how wantlessness can be, uh, your utopian concept. That how can it help? Because you can see that how materialism is bad, and then you can see how many like philosophers have preached you that desire should be limited. Like you can quote Gandhi here, that earth has everything for a man's need, but not for everyone's greed. And like this, you can do. Then second part will go to the pestle thing. That is connecting this philosophy with contemporary world. So in politics, if you see, it is the want to control or like be in power, which causes electoral malpractices. Right? That is the want of power is the reason for criminalization of politics, right? Or money and muscle power in elections, money and muscle power in elections, or you can say defections. Defections are also have, like, the underlying reason behind defection is the want to have money, the want to have power, right? So you can write many examples in this politics. Okay, many examples you can write, but I'm just giving you 2-3 examples. Similarly, in economy, you can quote the Oxfam report, and you can say that there are like India added 41 billionaires in 2020, but at the same time, around 70 million people, okay, were pushed to the margins of poverty. This was, I think, the Oxfam report, which shows that why this happened. Because people who are already well-to-do, they are amassing wealth. They want more and more, and they are running behind materialistic things, which is causing lot of issues for the poor. You can connect it with like inequality in economy. You can connect how wantlessness can help. Okay, how wantlessness can help, and how wantlessness can help. You can give the example of Bill Gates, how his altruism is helping the world in getting children vaccinated, and you can give the example of Aziz Premji, right? Aziz Premji. All these examples you can give, or you can give the example of compassionate capitalism. Okay, this we will use in way forward, compassionate capitalism. Okay, or so like this in economy, you can give example of inequality and how like hunger, issue of hunger can be tackled. Okay, okay. Similarly, in your society also, many social problems, many social problems are happening because of the want, unnecessary need. For example, sensitization of corruption. Sensitization of corruption, right? You must have heard this term. That is acceptance of corruption. That corruption is not just tolerated; it is widely accepted. Like we don't want to like tell this in open, but this is the truth that many people around us, they want to join like police force or government job too, because they say काम नहीं करना पड़ता and bribe भी मिलती है, right? So sensitization of corruption, that is happening. Why? Because people are not judged by their values, but people are actually judged by how they, how much wealth they have, or how much materialistic things they have. So that is also like one thing. Okay. Then similarly, you can, many social evils like dowry is the underlying cause of it. More materialistic things you want, more wants you have, right? So child labor, like many things you can connect, many social evils and social issues you can connect it with society, right? Similarly, in technology also, you can talk about that many suicides happen because, okay, because feeling of like having a false virtual identity. Okay, people causing a split in their personality and all these things. So it's about how you want to connect it with materialism and how it is like consumerism, especially environment is a very uh, important issues, like how materialism is impacting. Okay, like solid waste, e-waste, right? Reckless consumerism. Consumerism is hurting sustainability. Sustainability. Okay, so you can give many examples. Deforestation, how Amazon jungles are cleared out for plantation of soya bean and all these things. So you can talk about this, that how growing consumerism, growing materialism, okay, people want bigger houses, people want more wealth, and how that has led to degradation of values, degradation of environment, degradation of society, okay, degradation in politics. So you will chart out the pestle problems. Okay, the pestle problems. So what I did was I started with the philosophical part, Buddhism, Jainism, Hindu philosophy. Okay, and you can, okay, then I connected with pestle. That was my part one, where I used the thesis thing that yes, utopia is indeed a good thing because it can make the world a better place. Okay, the earth will be sustainable, politics will be based on principles for the welfare of people rather than power grabbing. Okay, all these things you can write. Then I will come to the antithesis part. That is, what is the argument against it? Okay, what is the argument against it? So is wantlessness desired? So although there are philosophies like Buddhism, Jainism, which say that wantlessness is good, but there are other philosophies also which teach you that no, materialism is also good. The most famous is the Charvaka school of philosophy. Like you must have heard it in your ancient or art and culture. The Charvakas said that enjoy life, right? Enjoy life. That is there. So you can quote Charvaka philosophy here that how many ancient philosophical schools like Charaka, they taught you to have materialistic things. Okay. And they were also, they had a huge following in the past and everything. Okay. Second thing that you can talk about is, second thing is you can talk about is your Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So Maslow hierarchy of needs is like a pyramid. On the bottom of the needs is your materialistic needs. Okay. Materialistic needs. And the top is your self-actualization. Actualization. Now the question is, it is also saying the materialistic needs are the basic needs and the highest needs is like self-actualization. Then how it is an antithesis? Because Maslow also said that unless these needs are fulfilled, you cannot move towards the top of your pyramid. That is, you cannot have like you cannot achieve self-actualization. That is kind of like your true potential emotionally, okay, ethically, unless your materialistic needs are fulfilled. So you can say that yes, greed might not be important, but fulfillment of basic material needs is important for emotional well-being, for psychological well-being, as well as reaching the true potential, that reaching self-actualization as per Maslow. So it says that no, materialism is not a chimera, it is not a maya. Materialism has its own importance, right? Okay. Then if you see in Hindu philosophy, we have 4 Purusharthas. 4 Purusharth. What are the 4 Purusharth? You have earth, you have Kam. Okay. That is earth, your economy, and Kam is your pleasure. And then you have your dharma and moksha. Dharma is your ethics, and your moksha is your nirvana. If you see, out of these 4, these 2, that is earth and Kam, are materialistic in nature. So here also you see that is out of 4 Purusharthas, 2, that is 50% of the Purusharthas are materialistic in nature, which tells you that no, materialism cannot be completely discarded. Materialism has its own place in a human's life. It has own place in society. Okay. And here you can also quote Vivekananda. Okay. Here you can also quote Vivekananda, who said it is, I don't remember verbatim, but yeah, it is cruelty to ask a hungry man. The quote was about religion, but I want to man about, let's say, a religion, or you can replace religion with morality. So he is also accepting the fact that, okay, basic needs you need to provide a person. Now, then only you can talk to him about philosophy, about ethics, morality, all these big, okay, elite concepts. So this is your antithesis. Now, what is the synthesis? That is a way forward. Okay. Synthesis. Your thin synthesis is best again Buddhism. Which is your Madhyam Marga. What Buddhism said is, this is wantlessness, right? And this is your extreme penance. The truth lies somewhere in between, the Madhyam Marga. Okay. Madhyam Marga. Okay. So now you will start giving, although this is a philosophical basis, you have to choose a Madhyam Marga or the golden mean. Okay. Golden mean, same thing, said by Aristotle, right? He also said the same, you should avoid extreme, always follow the middle path. Okay. So you quote this as a philosophical basis, then you start giving suggestions. Like in politics, what will be your suggestions? Okay. In economy, what will be your suggestions? One suggestion will be, or two suggestion, depend on the time and depend on the space you have. Like in politics, what could be your suggestions? That politics should be based on principles, like Gandhi said. Politics without principles is a sin, right? So it should be based on principles. Okay. Constitutional morality. Okay. Strengthen institutions, and democracy should be representative. How you can do it? You can give two practical examples also. Okay, you can give like one is second ARC report recommended having a code of ethics, and code of conduct for the ministers as well. Okay, you should strengthen your institutions like judiciary, administration. Okay, to avoid the misuse of power. Okay, adhering to the concepts of separation of power, all these things. So like this is one practical thing. Okay, the other practical thing that then you can give is about, like if they want to say election commission, so should be given more power to curb criminalization of politics. All these things we can say. Similarly, in economy, the main problem we discussed was inequality, right? And illegal or unethical trade practices. So here you can talk about compassionate capitalism, which says that capitalism should not just follow profit, but it should follow profit, welfare of people, including employees and shareholders. Okay, and planet, that is sustainability. So you can talk about, okay. Similarly, in society, you can talk about like values, okay, and everything. Similarly goes for technology. Similarly goes for law. Everything you can talk about. This will be your synthesis. Okay, and in the end, you can, if you know any quote which can help you establish a good way forward, you can talk about. So this might not be known by many, but there is a novel called Walden. Okay, Walden by Henry David Thoreau. Sorry, capital D. Henry David Thoreau. So actually, why Henry David Thoreau is very famous is he is the first person actually who concretized the idea of civil disobedience way before Gandhiji. Actually, Gandhiji got inspired or got the kind of idea of civil disobedience after writing his essay. Okay, because he wrote an essay like civil disobedience way back in 1700s, even before Gandhiji was born. Okay, and this person, Henry David Thoreau, he actually went to a jungle. Okay, and he lived there alone, totally cut off from the external world, to understand, because at that time America was changing very fast. Like railway lines were coming up, a lot of changes were happening, and he wanted to understand, are these changes going to be good or bad? Okay, so he wrote a novel, Walden. This is the name of the novel, Walden. He wrote Walden, and he has discussed the impact of technology or impact of growing materialism. Although it is mostly on impact of technology or the changing lifestyle of people. So in that he has very good quotes. I used a quote from that. Okay, so where he talked about that, although the distance between Texas, okay, and a city in, let's say, New York has been reduced by railways, but the railway fare was so, okay. So he said that a person, okay, needs 3 days to walk from, let's say, New Texas to New Orleans. Okay, and he needs only, let's say, 1 day with via train. So although it seeks that the train is saving him 2 days, but in reality he has to walk for 7 days. Okay, he needs to sweat for 7 days to earn that much money to ride on a train. That kind of parallels he drew, and it was a very good quote. And similarly, he gave many such instances. Okay, that how that the radio has enabled long distance communication, but still we don't have anything to talk when we sit with a stranger next to us. So he gave such good examples. So I happened to like read this novel by chance, and it got fit. So every one of us must have read something which is relatable to this topic, and we can just quote it, whichever is like closest to this topic, we can quote that. The thing is, the thing that I told you today is not the perfect answer, not the perfect essay for this. Okay, there can be better example, there can be better concept, there can be better approach to the essay. Okay, I can't deny it, but this can be one of the approach, and this is a very straightforward approach. Okay, so whenever I get a philosophical topic, okay, so what I do is I first like think of the thesis statement, like what are the reasons that I should agree to it. Then I think about the antithesis. Okay, what are the arguments I can give against it, and then I think the synthesis, that what is should be the best approach, like what is the balanced way forward. So this is my approach. Okay, mostly thesis contains around 70% of the essay or 60% of the essay. This is around 10% of the essay, and this is next 30% of the essay. And overall, I got good marks in essays. So I think this works till now. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this is this is all from me today. I will discuss more essays, and like I have a small group of like people who where we write essays together. So if I happen to take sessions with them, I will definitely upload those sessions as well. So have a good day. Bye.